Charles Leclerc is Ferrari's golden child. Years after being the next big thing, Charles Leclerc has been Ferrari's main man for many years, being preferred over Sebastian Vettel, Carlos Sainz, and now potentially the legend Lewis Hamilton. This season is his time to finally reap them rewards, and with it looking like Ferrari and McLaren are going to have the quickest car, and with a 99% changed Ferrari car, this has to be the moment he takes it all. Now going into 2025, we're still not sure who is going to be the quickest car on the grid. McLaren didn't really change much from last year, but was the fastest. Red Bull look a little bit off it overall, but obviously have Max Verstappen. And Ferrari with a completely changed car could be the answers to see them finally win their first championships in 17 years. Now the inclusion of Lewis Hamilton also shows quite a lot of intent. Carlos Sainz did a great job at Ferrari and was pretty much keeping up with Charles Leclerc overall, only being a few points off him in both seasons. Now despite this, Lewis Hamilton has been on and off the last couple of years, and despite still being an incredible racer in the races, his qualifying specifically has been getting worse, and you have to think Leclerc is licking his lips for the opportunity to beat Lewis Hamilton this season. Now every single year it always goes into it with Ferrari having a chance to win. A lot of people predict Charles Leclerc to be their driver champion for the last couple of years, and they seem to have a quick car, which obviously doesn't go the best when their team make poor decisions, and it ends up costing them in the long run. Now this season I believe it will change. Fred is definitely a good team principal, which has done well to manage the egos in the past, and it does seem like the Ferrari team are all moving in the same direction while still being a little bit of an underdog. Charles Leclerc also has years of experience. He still makes the odd mistake here and there, but given the situation at the team in the last couple of years, it's definitely been a frustrating moment with constant problems with his car that he couldn't deal with. And with the best car, or one of the best cars on the grid this year, you've got to think this is his time. Not only is he going against one of the legendary drivers in Lewis Hamilton, is someone he would expect to beat. And when you look at the competition that he has as well, being mainly McLaren, he has to think he is a more experienced and better driver right now than Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris, where he can win the title. Now there is a few problems. Max Verstappen is a massive one. He is still an incredible driver, and even last year, not having the strongest car on the grid, still managed to put up respectable results and get that drivers championship quite easily. He will always be a threat no matter what, and unless Red Bull are really far off the pace, you've got to think he will still be up there on the podiums every single race, which could be a problem with the reliability of the Ferrari in the past. There has also got to be some team chemistry made. Him and Lewis Hamilton have never worked together before, and Lewis Hamilton may be off the pace or may be really quick with Leclerc, and you've got to think the McLaren team and the newly Red Bull team have a lot better dynamics that they have developed over the last years, where even Verstappen's number one and Lawson's number two, or the McLarens can definitely switch it per race, and hopefully this season for them they have got that sorted out. Now for years Leclerc has been against drivers that have probably been more experienced and better than him overall, but I think this year his main competition is people he can beat. I also think if he is ever going to get that promise that Ferrari wanted, this is the year to get it, with obviously the big regulation changes next year where other teams will get good again. Now it's not always black and white, and if some of the decisions don't go his way, if the team mess up yet again, then he could lose that opportunity, which obviously won't be his fault. But I do think it will show a real big intent if he was to win the drivers championship ahead of his teammate Lewis Hamilton and ahead of McLaren, and will show that he was that golden child that they once promised all them years ago. And this being his 7th year at Ferrari, it will definitely make up for all the times that they disrespected him, where he could take a massive one home for the Ferrari family. Now for him, I think the future will always be at Ferrari until they find someone else better, and I don't think that anyone is really better or loved as much within that Ferrari camp than Leclerc that you're going to find in a very long time. And it definitely feels like he is in his prime right now. It feels like he is one of the better drivers on the grid, next to people like Max Verstappen, you could say, where he can really hit home and win that championship that puts him up there with the greats he deserves to be. Overall, let me know in the comments what you guys think. Do you think this is Leclerc's year, or do you think someone else will win it? Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.